tools that I'd love to hear more about is the worry list.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
Okay, so I think I'd heard it on a podcast or something, but basically I haven't done it for a while because I've learned to manage my anxiety much better. But when I would have moments of like really, really bad anxiety about something, basically in the list, I would write what my worry is, and then I would write what's the worst possible thing that could happen. So let's say I'm stressed about, what have I been stressed about lately? For example, plane crash.
Jesus, yeah.
I've never had flight anxiety. And now I'm like, every time I'm on a plane, I'm like, shit. Like, is this a Boeing 737? Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
I'm like texting my mom. I'm like, I love you so much. But yeah, so like lately, every time I get on a flight, I'm pretty stressed about that. So for example, I would write on the worry list, number 1, really anxious about flying. My number 2 would be, what's the worst that can happen? I die on this plane crash, like in the next 2 hours. And then the third bullet point would be, after the fact, like what actually happened. You know, I land in Miami, I land safely, I am fine, was panicking for nothing. And you do this every time that you're sort of like worried and anxious about something. And over time, you can like look at the list and see how much time you have wasted worrying about things, and how, I mean, listen, sometimes the worst possible case scenario does happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's just life. But you can look at it and be like, well, literally the worst possible thing that could have happened, and I'm okay. And I got through it, and it sucked, but you know, worrying about it for days on end before it happened didn't help me at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I did this for a long time. And over time, you kind of just look at it and you're like, wow, I'm really wasting a lot of time worrying about things that I do not need to be worrying about.
Yeah. I feel like just getting it out, like, is so healthy. Like, if you're really just writing it down or saying it to someone or saying it out loud to yourself, like, once you get that anxious thought, like, out of your mind into the world, I feel like it makes it seem so much less scary than you built it up to be in your head.
Yeah.
I love that.
Also now, if I haven't, like I said, I haven't done it in a while, but if I wanted to take that a step further and like really try to like evaluate myself and like the stress about it, putting that list into ChatGPT. Oh. And then I don't know how big of a ChatGPT. I know there's controversy if it's bad for the environment. Like, I probably should do some research on that. But ChatGPT can like learn things about you over time. I've gotten too many friends on using it for like therapy purposes. But if you take like this list and you can put it into ChatGPT and you can ask like, what are my cognitive distortions with my worries and like what's happening here, it can kind of like analyze that for you and like pick out your patterns and help try to reframe your mindset. You can ask it to like reframe this thought into like a better mindset for myself.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Technology.
I know, it's so scary.
I know.
But it can be helpful. Like if you're someone who, let's say you can't afford therapy, right? Yeah. You can do that on the free version of ChatGPT, and like that can be a really, I think, great step in like working towards trying to figure yourself out and figuring out like your own like cognitive biases against yourself that are kind of self-harm in a way, you know?
Yeah. Okay, the next one I had was biting into a lemon.